Here you can see, focus on the basis of classification on the basis of multicellularity, level of organization, symmetry, body coelomate, and then the tissue level, radial and bilaterally symmetrical, coelomate, acoelomate, now without the body cavity, which are there. Okay, so today we begin with the phylum Porifera. So phylum characters, see, these are very important and you are going to learn it by heart. See, these are sedentary. Sedentary means they do not show any movement. The body Porifera, the word Porifera, the phylum derive its name from the pore bearing organism. You see the tiny holes around this, so these are known as pore bearing. They are sessile. Okay, sessile means they don't move, and they show primitive multicellular animal, but there has been, see here, no cellular level of organization, means individual cell is attached together. So they are known as sponges. They are filter feeders. Filter feeders means, you see, this is the mouth part, or that is known as mouth part or oral groove here, and they have got silicon spicules that give them the shape. Okay, so they have minute spores, that is known as ostia. Okay, and spongiocele, the body cavity is there. Here the osculum is there. So from here the water enters through the body, and from these small pores the water comes out. See, this is the mouth part. From here the water enters the body, and these are the small fine pores through which the water comes out. And here the body has got a firm shape by the presence of silicon spicules. Okay, now mouth is known as osculum. The holes outside the body is known as ostia. Okay, now even they remove it, they are filtered outside, and within the body tiny organisms are trapped and they feed in like that. Now another is choanocytes. What is choanocytes? Choanocytes is the collar like cell, that is spongiocele canal. The digestion, you see, it does not show any cellular level. Tissue levels are absent, so cellular level, so digestion is also intracellular, and the body is supported by skeleton known as spicules and spongin. Then sexes are not separate. These organisms, full phylum is hermaphrodite. They reproduce asexually by fragmentation and sexually by the formation of gametes. Okay, fertilization is internal and development to indirectly, that means within the body cells. Okay, so they see the female ova is there, and the male gametes are released within the body structure, and the function and the fusion is internal, and when the organism grows it comes out of the ostia. Now here, see, we have the phylum, the coelenterate. Okay, coelentrates all are marine and only Hydra is moving, but rest are all sessile animals. Okay, now there are some, you see the prominent jellyfish. Now these are the coelenterates, that means they are the body coelomate, mainly marine. Some are sessile, sea anemone. Okay, and some are free living. Some these kind of coral reefs and all, there are two types. Now another thing is, some animals show two type of life form. First they are in a polyp form, and another is the medusa, that means free living. Exactly, alternation of generation is also there. So cnidarians exhibit tissue level of organism, and they are diploblastic, that means dilayer, diploblastic level. Then they have got a certain gastrovascular cavity, single opening, that serves as a mouth and an anus. The mouth or the hypostome, digestion is extracellular and intracellular. And some of the cnidarians, they are corals, their skeleton composed of calcium carbonate. Cnidarians exhibit two basic forms, polyp and medusa. The polyp is a free living, for example jellyfish, and medusa is sea anemone and hydra, that is fixed. So Aramsia, these are example, umbrella like, free swimming, orella, the jellyfish, they are very nice to look at, but they have got stinging cells, ctenocytes, that can paralyze a swimmer. The cnidarians exhibit both alternation of generation, earlier also I have said, and the medusa and the polyp is sexually active, obelia. Physalia, Pinnatula, sea pen, these are all examples. Up to this you have to remember, okay, not you don't have to go into the detail. Then you see here, the next phylum is known as Ctenospora. What is Ctenospora? Ctenospora is sea walnut or comb jellies. They are see, phylum character, they are exclusively marine and radially symmetrical. They are again diploblastic. Now they have got rows of ciliated comb plates. That gives the name. They help in locomotion. The digestion is both extracellular and intercellular. And the another identifying phylum character is bioluminescence. They glow on their own. The example of Ctenospora, sexes are not separated. Reproduction takes place only by sexual. Fertilization is external and indirect development. Okay, example Ctenoplena. See, this is the example. Pleobranchia. Okay, now comes the platyhelminths or the flatworms. They are all dorsoventrally flattened. Example Fasciola hepatica. Now they have got two host life cycle major, all of them are parasites. So when the organism is parasites, you know, the sense organs gets slightly depressed. You see the mouth, they have got sucked. Since they are parasite, they need to get attached to the host body, so they are grooved. See, this is also groove, acetabular groove, and this is also groove. Two suckers like mouth part, and you know the body is covered with a chitinous layer. The prominent now sexes are not separate. Fertilization is internal and development is through many larval stages, and larval stages have two different hosts like that. Okay, the body development is within the host cycle, but the identifying character is the presence of hook and a sucker. You see hook and sucker in the mouth part. Okay, and they are mainly parasitic. Osmoregulation, excretion, and the presence of flame cells is also one of the identifying characters of this phylum, Platyhelminths. Now another big phylum is the Aschelminthes. Now Aschelminthes are also parasitic, but they are known as a roundworm. They are also parasites. So obviously their mouth part, the sense organs, they are all suppressed because they don't require. Now they show organ level. Roundworm has got organ level of body organization. The body is bilaterally symmetrical. They are triploblastic, but they are pseudocoelomate animal. Alimentary canal is complete. Muscular pharynx is there. Then animals are, the sexes are separate, so they are dioecious. Now similar to that, we have got the annelids, that means the, and here example is Ascaris lumbricoid, they are also parasitic, but here next comes the annelids, that means they are known as segmented worm. So these are segmented worm, and example, the common example is Ferritima or the earthworm. The body is segmented. Now they have got some are aquatic, other are free living. The body is bilateral symmetrical. Those that have living in the water, they have got parapodias, and those that are not closed circulatory system is nephridia, that is nephridium. They have got a pair of ganglions, that means the nervous system is slightly developed from that. They have got one double ventral nerve cord. Nereis is an example. The animals are dioecious, sexes are separate. Okay, so up to this we'll do it today. You have to go through them, and the next big phylum, the Arthropoda and the Mollusca, we'll be doing in our